No.
That's it.
Yeah.
We here. Late ill kid at OneYoungsta, hold it down, bringing in Street Geek and Nerd Soul. What is up, my people? Today, oh yeah, we're coming with another wonderful episode of Loungin. I am joined by my esteemed colleague, Marqueeda LaStar.
Hi, everybody. Oh, I need to bring up our little thingy. Hi, everybody.
What's up? What's up? What's up? We are here on Loungin. We break down kind of like what went on during the week from Twitter, the news, culture, all that jazz, and we try to have a little bit of fun with it. And I guess I'll start off with we'll start off with a follow up from last week. You know what I'm saying? And big shout out to everybody who's already watching. You're watching, go to hit the thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? Share the stream, all that stuff. And if you come in later, we got your back. So last week you had CornerstoreCaroline.
Mm-hmm.
She called the police on this young kid. His book bag brushed her butt. She said she felt like he grabbed her, and there was this whole thing about her calling the police and the police coming, and you know people impersonating the police,
just doing so much.
Yes.
I was like, girl, what are you
even
doing?
to the point where other white people was like, come on, like come on, chill. like all right, we
can't save you from yourself.
Yeah,
now.
come on, stop this. So this week, you know, she finally did well. At the tail end of last week, I believe she gave her apology. And this
she
week,
showing the tape, and then she gave this weak sauce.
It was
apology.
like, I apologize to the boy,
to the
but not
man.
the mother, and something like that.
Yeah, I don't know your name, young man, but I apologize, but not to the mother. Okay, wait. I mean, that was my issue. It's like, well, if you understand,
you attacked the mother indirectly through the son.
Exactly. You know, she attacked directly because you come after somebody's child, right? After somebody's child, of course they're gonna step to you, and if their child didn't do something, they're definitely gonna fight you about it. So if you recognize you were wrong, then you should automatically understand where that mother was coming from. She's protecting her child from your lying ass.
Super lying.
Exactly.
That girl was lying. You know what?
Like,
I'm not her.
She's suing the mother.
She's suing the mother?
She's suing the mother.
What? You about to lose that case so hard.
I was like, girl.
What is the suing about?
I don't even.
Bruh,
I was
look.
like, when I read, I was like, you know what? I don't have time. So no, I didn't finish the article.
You about to lose.
Because I didn't have patience, guys.
Yo.
Like, sometimes this stuff wears on you. You just like, look.
All right, so
look,
the apology reached the young man, and he said he doesn't accept the apology. He's not forgiving her.
Exactly. She needs help.
I'm glad that he didn't.
He said, I don't forgive her.
That's
she
right.
Need help.
Yep.
Also, you still come after his mom's.
Yeah.
Of course he's not gonna forgive you. But I feel it's something that okay, I know this is gonna sound bad. But it's like, okay, somebody does some really foul shit for you. And I understand the whole like you need to move on, forgive me.
Yeah.
Don't let it fester in you, don't let it eat you alive. But like sometimes you need to let people know like I'm still processing it. I can't understand how something terrible happens to you and like a week later you're talking about you forgive somebody.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm trying to
move
on.
I agree.
I haven't arrived at forgiveness yet. We may get that one day, but it won't be today because you did like
I super agree with that.
Yeah, and my thing is like even something super like Charleston.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, it was like a week later and they're talking about, well, we really man. I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. No. Why we gotta forgive a man that you embrace? That's how he was able to shoot up your church. Because you embraced him and said, come down and sit down and read the scripture with us. And then he shoots you. And I get, these are religious people, but I feel like we're always forgiving people who don't ask to be forgiven.
Thank you. And I was waiting. Yes.
Could they at least ask to be forgiven before we have to forgive them? Like, can we get our apology first and then think about forgiving them?
I'll take it a step further. Black people are always pushed to have to forgive somebody.
Always.
Whenever something happens, Black people are supposed to forgive them, get over it. And I'm glad. Props to you, young man. You know what, young man? I don't know your name, but I am glad you didn't forgive her. That's right, don't forgive her. Because he's a minor, they probably couldn't release
the name.
Yeah.
I didn't see his name anywhere.
But
Everything is like the little boy.
Young, esteemed, black, excellent colleague. Thank you for not forgiving it. You don't need to forgive. I'm so tired of the black community having to forgive somebody for something. The dude went up, like you said, shot up a church. We gotta forgive him. Mm-hmm. You know, whenever something happened, we gotta forgive. We gotta forgive this, forgive that. No, we ain't forgiving no more.
Max says the mother made the son apologize. I didn't watch the video. I just read.
She made him apologize after the fact. Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I hope that's not true. I hope that's a misprint or something. Yeah. I hope so. Cause man, look, we ain't for that apologizing. We ain't for that forgiving. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Nah, bro, we don't forgive. We ain't giving out forgiveness.
I do maintain, like, don't let that shit eat
you up. Don't let it eat you up. But you know, like, no, I don't forgive you.
Like, why?
And I got my eye on you from now on. You know what I'm saying? And once again, her name is, I don't know, her last name is Klein. But look, y'all, I think it's Lindsay Klein. Flatbush, Brooklyn, watch out for Lindsay Klein because she's snitching and she's snitching on that. Because I'm still trying to imagine. I've had a book bag or a bag or a briefcase brush against my arm or whatever. It has never felt like a hand to me. All right? I mean, never. So there is no way. Oh.
And then you look back and see some small elementary age child.
Yo, matter of fact, I'll take it a step further because I know Max is ready to hear this. Max, that CornerstoreCaroline, that's a false accusation. I know you like that. I know he always talks about false accusations. This is one. This is a false accusation of sexual harassment or sexual assault right here. And you know what? Speaking of that, online from all of these white guys that be all hardcore about false accusations, you ain't seen none of them stand up for this young boy.
Nobody.
Where was they at? Where was all these false accusation cats that be coming out representing for Chris Hardwick? Where was they at for the young man?
For Bill Cosby, where y'all at?
Where y'all at for the young man? Because this was a true false. We had on tape.
Everybody was saying they were bringing up Emmett Till.
Yep.
Because this is how he died.
A false accusation.
A false accusation.
And my thing is, how you gonna wait all mad long, mad later, and be like, oh yeah, by the way I lied. No, by the way you lied, you going to jail today.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Old and crusty.
You going to jail. I don't care. Bill Cosby went to jail. Yo, going to jail. That's right. I bleep my own side. Don't worry about it. But yeah,
and
that's a false accusation.
Oh, I remember reading about her. She's actually this terrible all the time.
Wow.
People have moved out of the building because they talked to some of her neighbors in the building. She's always terrorizing the man they talked to. Said there's people moved out of the building. She's like terrorizing people in the building.
So she always calls police and stuff.
Yeah, she's this type. She's that type. This is not a one-off. And so she said
so this is how she do.
Exactly. She knocked on his door talking about his son is doing drugs, XYZ. Son don't even live in the city. Not long in the building.
You know what?
He not in the city.
You know when this is going to stop? Like I said, either A, when someone is successfully sued for having the police called on them, or when somebody creates a law when the police come out and there's a Lindsay Klein or a CornerstoreCaroline or Permanent Patty, whatever, when a police officer gets there and be like, well, thank you for wasting my 20 minutes, and here's a ticket.
Exactly.
And here's a ticket for $500 or $1,000 because you wasted my time.
Because I've definitely living in the hood. We definitely have had emergencies.
Yeah.
If the police show up at all, it's several hours after the fact.
Sure.
So this is not really going to affect black people.
Yeah.
It really, if they pass a law, it'd be hard. It would hit the target it's meant to hit.
Yeah, it would hit.
They already don't respond to our shit as it is.
Yo, because the funniest thing, if y'all go back to that, if y'all go back to old girl about that grill, about that charcoal, boy, that officer, you can see in his body language, he was just like, God, he was like, why am I? He had that look like he was about to finish his shift. He had that look like he was like his shift was almost over.
It's like one more. It's supposed to be like a real quick job.
Yeah, dispatcher was like, "Hey, there's a domestic incident in the park. You know, some ladies talk about charcoal. Can you go?" And he was like, "You know what? He shows up. He got like 10 minutes left on his shift.
Yeah.
Showed up. He was just like."
And they know they gonna make it a thing.
Yo, when she started crying.
Oh, she gave like the best Oscar performance.
When she doubled over herself, she was like,
I was like, White woman tears. It did.
Yo, man, white woman tears, yo. Who was the one that wrote that article about the weaponization of white tears or something?
I don't know, but I wish I did.
Whoever it is, they also watched the show. And big shout out to
exactly, because that was a great article. Yo. And it was pointing out like this problem. Like this is not like I've seen it.
I've seen it in the call center at Comcast way back in the day.
Oh,
so
wow.
I've seen white girls that they'll get. I felt offended, or they'll use words like I felt offended, or I felt marginalized, or I felt hurt, and then they'll be all like tuned up.
Okay, so I finally read this. So Max, right. You're speculating the mother made him apologize, because I felt like a black mom. My parents would have stood with me.
Yep, black mama.
If I was like, nah, forget that, they'd be like, you right, baby.
They'd be like.
They'd be like, good. And they might give you that word something like, one day I hope you find it in yourself to forgive. That, to me, that's
and
like
and I'll be the brother be like, don't forget.
Don't forget. But it says that they had an ABC News interview, and Jeremiah's his name.
Okay.
Revealed that he now accepts her apology. He hopes that she knows that he didn't do anything to her. And so that's how he kind of ended that.
Well, accepting your apology. All right.
I mean, it's a weak sauce apology. Like, he's not old enough to even understand how weak sauce it is.
Yeah.
But I felt so good about him going, nah, I don't forgive it.
Yo, man.
And I was like, right, baby.
When he was like, no, I was like.
Yeah, but he accepts. He didn't say he like forgave her.
I felt like Tiger Woods on that joke when he was just like.
He said he now accepts her apology.
Okay.
I think he still maintains he doesn't forgive her.
I don't forgive you.
But I accept your apology. That's two different things.
I don't forgive you.
I'm gonna accept your apology so we can move the hell on.
I'm still watching.
But it doesn't mean so. I don't know. It doesn't say anything that he was coerced or his mother talked over with him.
But so I'm just glad black people # no forgiveness no more. We ain't forgiving nobody. You act up, we ain't forgiving you. We got our eyes on you, and we keeping watch. So speaking of black people, black people have been doing big things. Even rappers have been doing big things. Rappers have been dropping videos.
Hassan. Hello, Hassan.
Oh, Hassan. We got a rapper. We all know him as T.I.
Oh my goodness.
T.I.
Have you seen this video? Tip. Well, he goes by Tip.
Well,
the only reason he's not Tip is because somebody else had a similar name when he came out. You have to have a unique name.
Well, T.I.
So T.I. But he's Tip on Twitter, which is where this is going. So
he dropped a video on Twitter. And this video was in anticipation of new material coming out.
Right.
And in this video,
Max, your definition of clearly needs to be reevaluated. Just
clear.
He's like, clearly the young man was coerced. Like, how? What's your evidence?
It's not clear.
It's really not obvious.
The video of him not touching her butt is clear.
No, he was like talking about the mom falls.
No, but I'm just saying that's an example of clear.
Yes, and then clearly, he did touch her butt. I was like, I'm gonna ask you to grab a dictionary before continuing the conversation.
So T.I. was like, yo, let me put out a video. What could I do, to show people how I feel about my music, but also show how I feel socially and politically. And he came out with this video where you got 45 getting on a plane, getting ready to leave, but he left his lady back at home.
And that chick does really look
she kind of looked like a young Melania on it.
Well, that was the point, but he got somebody where it's very clear what he's
jacket that I don't care jacket.
But I mean, totally looks. I was like, man. I mean, they didn't zero on the face, but from the side, from the back.
Like,
that's wrong.
And then not only did she did a little strip tease, but we got to see a little something. You know what I'm saying? Melania kind of she kind of coming with a little something. Well, I guess fake Melania. You know what I'm saying? But people felt away. Fox News felt away. Pundits felt away. And I thought it was interesting that these people that had so much to say about Michelle Obama felt a certain way about Melania. And there's nothing wrong with your racism, except for the fact that you're letting it show a little too much. just a little too much.
There's everything wrong with your racism, your bigotry, and your letting it show too much. We can do everything. We can do all of it.
You show a little too much. Because it's like, oh, this is horrible. And you know, the way he did it, and yo, I know T.I. is sitting back just like...
It sounds like it's pretty funny and made him trend heavy. I was like,
that's
true.
That's why
that's how I found out a new album was out.
Thank you. T.I. knew.
I went to his Twitter page. I was like, hey, what's this cool stuff?
And I love how he said in the tweet, I'm not Kanye. Yo, T.I. knew exactly how to do this. Because not only was Twitter trending.
I found it amusing, but I didn't have any feeling one way or another about it.
I didn't until Fox News was like, this is horrible. You should be ashamed. I was like, whoa. Could we roll the clip?
Right.
Could we roll the clip of you about like 2 years ago?
That's true. And somebody did actually cut up a lot of their opinions on Michelle Obama.
Wow.
And I was
because remember they had something to say about her with the shirt with no shoulder
or
whatever.
Showing her arms.
Yeah, showing her arms.
I was like, she got good arms. Let her show her arms. Or her wearing shorts. Or her having any kind of fashion sense.
Yeah.
They're like, she's wearing brands in the White House. That's all this new First Lady does. Yeah, ain't got nothing to say about. That's all that woman. You cannot put non-brands on that woman. Like she don't. Like what is that?
She ain't wearing no jerseys, t-shirt. Right. She ain't wearing no Hanes.
So I was like, I always thought Michelle Obama's fashion was very sensible.
Yeah.
Of course, when the occasion called for it, you know,
she stepped it up,
stepped it down. She's again the dark. You just see the current First Lady trying to get in a garden. Woo!
Yo,
man, talk about some funny. Now that to me,
she looked just out of place. That's
she's got on heels.
That's clearly out of place.
Exactly. I was like, girl, you don't get your ass out of that garden.
Your non-gardening self.
Exactly.
Yo,
what
man.
Are you doing?
Well, honestly, it's not Melania's fault. She married 45, thinking I'ma just marry a businessman. And you know he'll be powerful, and I'll be well off.
I totally agree.
He brought all this political stuff.
She didn't say, well, even.
And now she like,
even 45 regrets it because when he was approaching his first year or something like that, before he even got to the full year, he was like expressing how he missed his whole life. And everybody's like, he just did this for Sean. I think even including him, he didn't expect to win.
Well, because see, I think Trump...
He's like, of course I wanted to win.
Well, Trump wanted to win just because of the sake of winning.
Right.
He didn't want to do the work.
Oh, he never had
And then also, I think that
I
think he thought being the president was being king.
Yeah.
And then when he got there, he was like, oh, dad. So I'm not king. It's like, no, man, you're the president. Yeah. Did you know about the judicial system and the three branches of government and checks and balances and freedom of press and all this? Yeah. And he's like, oh, so I don't just control everybody? No, you can't just. And he's like, Dad, I don't want to do this no more. But you locked in here for 4 years.
You're right.
Technically he could resign. But do we really want Mike Pence? It's a shame. We stuck now.
Right, because everybody's like, well, even if they had managed to, you end up with Pence, and I have read things that say Pence is actually worse than 45. Because 45, the problem with him is he has these foul ideas about the world, or he doesn't really understand how the world works, and then he hires all these trash people to do the work for him. But at least
he takes his lead from like Fox News.
Yeah, that, and he doesn't listen to the people he hires. So it's so dysfunctional that is actually helping us out because they're trying to get stuff done like pronto while they still have a majority in the House and the Senate, and they're actually trying to take use of it. And Democrats are doing what they can, but they don't have really the numbers. And so his dysfunction, he will literally go against his people, that he won't listen to them. And so that's Mike Pence in there, an actual politician with horrible views on everything.
It would sadly make it worse.
It would make it worse. You always saying, well, where's the bottom to this? The truth is there is no bottom.
The sad thing, people, is it can always get worse.
It can always get worse.
Which is why after a couple of months, I was like, yo, man, I wish we just had George Bush. Now, George Bush, in no way, and I'm talking about Bush too, in no way was a great president.
I said the same thing.
He was a president.
Exactly. I shared a meme when right after, a couple months after 45 was elected, and it was like when you mix your crazy ex or something like that. I did some kind of meme, and it was with Bush and like some kind of like video people were sharing, and that was the like caption I gave.
Yo, man, you missed him. You like, dang. So you know what? He was inept, but he was a president at the same time.
He did things that are going on now that he wouldn't do, and that's what I was come back to. It's not that. However you felt about Hillary, it wasn't about feeling good about Hillary.
Nah.
It wasn't that Hillary was going to be so much better or superior.
But there's no way we be where we are now.
Dealing with the stuff we're dealing. And you would have, I always maintain this. I said, let several million people protest and march on Hillary Clinton. Whatever the fuck you were asking for, she would have gave you.
Yeah, she would have gave it to you because of the political pressure. She would have gave it to you.
She knows, she understands if somebody's hitting you or doing this to you.
Like we want this.
She understands what this means. Where he just ignores it.
Yeah,
she understands
because he ignores it because it fires up. It fires up a chunk of his base. Right. Where it's like, I'll always look good in front of them. Right. Meanwhile, they don't realize, that healthcare that you or like your mom or whatever.
And I hate this because I was listening to radio. Wait a minute, I was going to make another point and I totally forgot it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I forgot it. I was listening to radio though, and it was that whole thing about, they were doing the story about this one conservative individual gets it. And it's always this cliche of now they've gone through a hard situation. They need health care. Yeah. And, this guy thought he could pay for cancer treatment.
Huh? Yo.
And they were like, no.
Do you know?
Insurance. This is, you're not. Do you know how many people, I forget where I read it, but one of the largest
Breaking Bad is a perfect example of you can't pay for cancer treatment.
Exactly. It's the largest, one of the, either it's one of or the largest reason why people go bankrupt is due to medical emergencies. Wow. It's not like people are out here.
A medical emergency will hurt you.
Like the average Joe, when they go bankrupt, that's what's putting them in bankruptcy.
Medical, and people always talk about, and we talked about this with the issue with
the problem with that, and my point was, he had a change of heart about it only after he went
because he had it.
And I said, these conservatives
have no empathy.
So much empathy. They can't have any kind of foresight that this might happen to them. Yeah. Like he wasn't in a situation when he was against it. That said, his situation was totally sketched. Like he was a small business owner. Yeah. And he didn't want to have to pay insurance for his employees. It turned out he himself didn't have the insurance, but he had more money because he owned the business, I guess, and he thought he'd be okay.
Because he's greedy.
It's not even greed. Like maybe because I was like, our healthcare system here is the most expensive in the developed world. Yeah. We get less for it. Yeah. It's not efficient. You can still die in our system, and you will pay more for the privilege to die than you would in other developed countries because we don't understand this whole pay it in a pot and it goes further. And so, my other thing was when it came to Hillary Clinton is we have had 2 Supreme Justices be selected by Donald Trump. Yep. They're lifetime appointments.
Yeah. See, a lot of people forget about that. That's what
people were bringing up. I remember having that argument and discussion with somebody that says, look, I get you don't I get super predator. Yep, got it. Yeah. Yep, understand that. But she's going to pick far better Supreme Justices because they were already kind of there were signs that some of them were going to leave because they were old as hell when this election was going down. And I was like, people just couldn't get past.
Let's not forget on this. The Republicans. Now they played chess on it because they knew they was about to get a Republican president. So they stopped the joint that President Obama was supposed to have. They stopped that
they
thing.
blackballed it.
It
wasn't even fair. Like he should have been.
So Trump got 2 picks.
Yep.
Not 1.
Yep. And I was like, that's why you should have voted for the other girl. I don't care how you feel about her. We wouldn't be having the people on those Lifetime things.
And kind of like the thing with Bush. Hillary is bad, but she's the devil, you know. She's a political.
You said earlier, right.
She's a political, a political, pretty much master. She knows how to run politics. She's a geek for politics. You know what I'm saying? So we know what we're getting. We had no idea what we were getting, and now we got it. And that's you got what you're gonna get. But another funny thing I think about this situation with T.I. is that 45 has been really quiet about this one. Usually 45 got words for everybody. 45 got them Twitter thumbs ready. This situation
is crickets.
All of a sudden, crickets. Cause he know better. He was like,
really?
He know better.
I don't think he's afraid of T.I.
T.I. got
maybe.
T.I. drop another video on you. T.I. drop another video. He got words for you. He got them Twitter thumbs. And Twitter is not 45's friend right now.
But also, it could be that Trump's attention is in Turkey right now.
Yep.
The case with Jamal.
Jamal Khashoggi.
Khashoggi.
And I hope I'm not screwing up his name.
Khashoggi, yeah. He recently passed. Most likely was a murdered journalist.
He was murdered.
Yeah.
He was murdered.
Well, I'm going with what they say. It was pretty.
We're gonna go with the line that Saudi Arabia told us.
Well, that's okay. I'm setting it up for what they said.
You gotta tee it up.
Yeah, you gotta tee it up because last time he was seen alive, he was entering Saudi Arabia's embassy, consulate in Turkey. And the reason why he was going there was to get some papers because he was going to marry a Turkish woman.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's what's so sad. I was like, he's about to start this new life. And he enters the consulate and he never leaves. So first the story is that they maintain he was here about an hour. Like literally the official version is he was there about an hour. He got some papers and he took off. Yeah, but it's been 2 weeks since anybody's seen this dude. So everybody's like, really? Is that the story you sticking with? I'm pretty sure like y'all got old dude.
And the funny thing about Jamal, well, not the funny thing, but this is a guy who is a journalist originally from Saudi Arabia. And you have a royal family in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. And he used to be cool with the royal family. And he was close to them. He was in the, and of course you have state-run news.
You also have to stay in bounds when you're doing any kind there's no freedom of press.
Nah,
freedom of speech.
The word comes down from the royal family, and you say what they say. So the royal family, of course, people grow old, they die, they pass. Well, there's a new prince, and the prince and Khashoggi, they weren't really seeing eye to eye. So much so that Khashoggi had to leave and move to America. So they really won't feeling each other. Mm-hmm. And in them countries like Saudi Arabia, whoo, you don't got that freedom of press like that. Mm-hmm. So he comes over to America. Mm-hmm. Writes for the Washington Post, I think?
Yes.
And he's saying anything he want to say about Saudi Arabia. He's talking that good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he's in Turkey. Meets a woman, falls in love. I love this woman, and I got to go to Saudi Arabian consulate, to get the papers to show that I'm divorced, so that I can marry a new lady. You know what I'm saying? Seems pretty straightforward. It's like you going to get your birth certificate or something. I'm gonna go up to DMV, the court building, get my birth certificate. Bing, bam, boom, done.
And you probably had to tell them beforehand that you were coming, so they would have the records.
Yep. Shows up, like you said. Hour go by, 2 hours, 1 day, 2 days, don't nobody know nothing. Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden Saudi Arabia
he left.
I ain't seen him.
So there was an investigation launched, and it was supposed to not be done solely by Saudi Arabia. It's supposed to be a joint effort, which I don't understand that. Because how would you have the accused? It's a conflict. It's the biggest conflict.
That's
but they're supposed to be working with Turkey investigators and Saudi Arabia investigators to find out what happened to Jamal.
Yeah.
And everybody was already, and then there's been
everybody's all like, we all know he's dead, right?
Yeah, right. We all know he's dead. This looks shady. Like, why do you have to be? And so to get their cooperation, it had to be a joint investigation.
Yes.
It wasn't like, oh, we're going to come investigate you. It's like, well, if you want access, if you want us to talk, because remember, consulates are sovereign. They're like a piece of the country in somebody else's country.
Yeah.
There's things that you can't do at embassy.
Yeah, you can't just roll up in there and do whatever you want.
It's a huge like offense, and you're gonna start some stuff between countries if you go and like ride on somebody's consulate. You can't do that.
It's an international incident.
Exactly. If you go and do anything crazy, even if it's your country, if you do something crazy.
Yeah, because that soil is supposed to be seen as the other countries.
Right, exactly. So to get access and all this, they do this show.
Yeah, it's pretty much dog and pony show.
Dog and pony show. And so so now, and they didn't say anything. It's been like 3 weeks, something like this.
Oh boy,
went missing, and then all of a sudden, a few days ago, the development was on their Saudi national television, because that's all you have is national television. They announced that a brawl broke out at the Saudi consulate in Turkey, and he died as a result of this brawl. And we're like, really? That's the story you're going? And wait. Why didn't you mention this 3 weeks ago when people were like, where he at? You literally said he was there for an hour, got his paperwork, and left, and you sent him off with God. Now you're talking about he got in a big ass fight. A fight so gruesome and violent that the homie died from it, and you're just now remembering that happened? Somebody died?
Y'all had to investigate that a brawl happened.
Right.
A brawl.
That's
now, okay.
I was like,
let me break it down to you. A fight is like 1-on-1, maybe 2-on-2. A brawl. All right. Imagine those.
Brawl is multiple people on both sides.
Imagine on both sides.
On both sides. That's how you get brawl. You need like dozens of people on both sides.
Imagine those movies where there's like a bar fight. That's a brawl.
Mm-hmm.
You got people hitting people with chairs, and so you can't forget that. It's not like, oh yeah, remember that brawl? No,
nobody's gonna do that.
So all of a sudden,
they have because the way they went about this. I want to point out the reason why this was just announced on their national news is it's not a press conference. They didn't go out and say, "Hey, we finally figured it out, guys." They're not here for no questions because the first answer is like, "Well, what happened to your story that he left within an hour of showing up?"
No. Here's the first question. Well, where the other people that was in the brawl?
Right, because a brawl means many. So it was like it's supposed to be this fight that's so out of hand
that somebody had to die.
And somebody died.
Real quick, I want y'all guys to Google, if you're on your computer, open up a new tab and search for Jamal Khashoggi. It's like Koshoggi, something like that. Search Jamal Khashoggi. It'll probably just pop up in Google. Mm-hmm. Look at his face. Tell me if he look like a dude that's been in a brawl. Mm-hmm. Tell me if he look like a dude that just been in a fight. This is what happened. Let me give y'all NERDSoul history. This is what happened. Old boy went in there. No, when he called and scheduled that joint, they said, finally, we got him. He been talking all that mess in America. We got him. Wait till he come in here. They probably wanted to teach him a lesson, whoop him up a little bit and mess around and kill him. They was like, we're gonna teach him, whoop him up a little bit, maybe hit him with a little bit of that enhanced interrogation, right? And then we're gonna send him on his way. Probably went a little too far.
I don't even understand how that works, but I guess.
But at the end of the day, because they know they can't kill him. Well, we thought, because they're like, if he end up dead, that's an international incident.
Right.
This is like I think he's still a Saudi citizen, but now that he's living in Turkey and I assume has citizenship there as well, now you're dealing with and he's in America writing for the Washington Post. You getting this weird
I don't know if he's
international
a citizen.
thing.
I can look it up if he's
he might not be a citizen, but you get into this weird international thing.
This I feel like this is getting a lot of attention. Not only is it something horrific that happened, but it's also about silencing people who would who criticize or bring to light.
It's about silencing the press.
And I feel like the press particularly are very invested in this because it's something that's happening here. Yep. It's happening everywhere.
And with the person that's in visual power, the way this person talks about the press, the way this person talks about dictators, the way you can see this person wants that power. He wants that power bad, real bad. And you see what that power does. That power is like, look, we're going to teach you a lesson. Or they might have just been like, look, we're going to kill him. He gonna come up missing. And he did come up missing. And now we're dealing with a very interesting thing because you have 45 on some like, well, it's a interesting relationship. We gotta be careful.
He doesn't know. 45 doesn't even know how to express.
He don't even know how to handle something like this.
Exactly.
He's not equipped to handle this.
Right.
Like you need the kind of president that 45 is. You need in peacetime when ain't nobody mad at America, and because nothing can go wrong that you need critical thinking. No, but what I'm saying is you can't have anything that needs critical thinking because he can't help you.
I feel like even when he's like being like, oh, he's a great guy, I feel that's fake.
Yeah, it's fake.
But definitely when he's like trying to show how this is terrible, like he can't even get out of himself enough to be like, I really don't care about this.
Yeah.
I want to just play another round of golf.
Yeah, it's like
it's so clear.
Like I just wanted to win. I won.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
now I'm done
just
with
keep
it.
winning. That's all he's really concerned about.
Oh man.
And it's
so now we have because I even say I was watching the news. I, like maybe some of you guys, or maybe like your parents or whatever, I'll sometimes watch the news and I'll talk to the news. And someone, I think on CNN, talked about, movements against Saudi Arabia. I was like, we can't do that. They give us too much money. Mm-hmm. And the next point somebody made is they buy like $1.5 billion or whatever. $17 billion worth of guns and ammunition and tanks and whatever from us. So you want to give up $17 billion over one dead person? That ain't gonna happen. America ain't gonna do jack. Why? Because it's all about the dollar. Bet money we don't do nothing. It'll be some stiff words. It'll be some firm words.
Firm words, but that's the thing is that it's not even limited to like guns, like private industry.
Yep.
I mean the number of even fast food countries. They're having like a obesity epidemic throughout the Middle East because all these fast food restaurants are moving over there.
Because it's kind of like
because people are like realizing how bad it is, and they're like, hey, this is the best stuff ever. So everybody's getting in over there and making lots of money.
Yep.
But you offend. Now, one thing I will say is that they don't take no slander, and I'm against what they do when the slander happens. Like, you can't kill people because you didn't like what they said.
Oh yes, you
about
can.
You. Well, apparently,
you can.
It's not right to do.
Yeah, it's not right.
And stuff, but they have very strong feelings about people who say anything about the, bad, even if it's true.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem. But my point is, like, if you were an American country and they got the idea that you got issues with them, you got some smoke for them, you got something negative to say, they gonna top out of your businesses. Yeah. They not like us, where we're like, oh yeah, well, I really like their chicken sandwiches, so I'm just gonna keep going there.
Let's go and put this in perspective right now. I ain't gonna stop eating Chick-fil-A, straight up. First of all, people gonna be mad. I don't think what he said was damning evidence. Was it great? Nah, but maybe it's because step into the Chick-fil-A thing. When I saw what was going on Twitter, I was expecting to hear somebody saying they're all going to hell and they're going to burn and I hate them, blah blah blah. And when I heard it, I was like, oh, okay. I thought it was going to be worse than this. I was like, oh yeah, I'm still getting my 12-count nuggets. Oh, you best believe that. And then waffle fries. Oh, I'm getting them joints. Yeah, I see this. I see the face. No, I'm still getting them nuggets. Dude, the Polynesian sauce.
Boy, the problem with Chick-fil-A is that a lot of their money goes to hate groups that target LGBT. So if you're fine with that, we just know that there'll be tension between us, because I can't even say I agree to disagree. They support hate groups.
All right, they do support hate groups.
So enjoy your chicken sandwich, my guy.
They do support hate groups.
I was like, okay, your chicken sandwich is so important, but okay.
Yo, Five Guys, can y'all start making nuggets or something? Just get the formula.
But let's roll how it is.
Just get the formula. Somebody else make them nuggets, man.
Some other beef going on.
And they use peanut oil too, man. That's some of the best oil because it gets the crisp.
That's true.
Somebody else make the formula, man, so I don't have to do this. You see what they probably putting crack in that stuff too. I swear to God, because it's too good. But speaking of people having words for each other, I wanted to end on this because I know we all love the hip hop.
We need to bring it up a notch.
Bring it up a notch.
Extremely sad what happened to that particular journalist.
This is old news being renewed because of Drake and because of Jay Prince.
Oh, continuing. Did you see the show?
Yeah, the
HBO?
Yeah, okay. I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Prince recently made a comment about Pusha T being like an ant, and you know, inconsequential, or they just smash him or whatever whenever they felt like it.
Well, he was prompted. It wasn't like he just
he was prompted.
It wasn't like he came out the blue with it. So he goes on TMZ to do an interview, and of course TMZ is like
they want
the M should be for like messy, because that's how they get all the hits. That's how they feel. They know what sells. Yeah, and so of course
they're the white boss.
Exactly, he had to bring up something that was like old, like it's not like super old. Because when did the HBO with Drake came out like earlier this month?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago or something like that. Yeah,
exactly.
But the actual battle has been over.
Yeah, it's over. It's done with, and so how it comes up, even watching the episode, I thought was pretty natural.
Sort of, yeah.
I was like, I felt like it's definitely something he wanted to speak on, and so I was like, let him speak on it. Like I felt like okay, it's a beef. I'm gonna give it what it is, a rap beef. Yeah. I've come to terms with, hey, rap beefs, you can say whatever, because somebody was bringing up some really strong points about people you do like. I think it might when we were having that conversation.
Yeah, like Jay-Z has gone at the throats. Some people,
everybody
Prodigy, Nas, Tupac has said some stuff.
Totally, I think made fun of Prodigy's sickle cell anemia, some shit like that.
Yep.
So I was like, beefs get
Cube
ugly.
and Common, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, Tupac was talking about how fucked your wife and all that. So I was like, yeah, when you think about it, beefs get ugly. They get hated. Did I said, okay, so to me, how I eventually, like, I thought about it after the conversation. Was like how I put a button in this. I was like, all right, you won the rap battle, but you lost me everywhere else because that's some foul shit. Yeah. And I guess I'm not crazy about Pusha T in general.
I don't
feel like he has a body of work that appeals to me enough.
Yeah.
Where I'm like,
Well, Pusha T is definitely one of those. He's one of those like straight rapper guys. So if you're not into like very lyrical straight rapper guys, he's not going. He
comes off as me as like I know he wasn't rich. He's like upper middle class. Yeah. But he does come off to me where he's like, I got no skeletons. And I was like, because I feel like you came from privilege, my guy, and you still did stuff you didn't.
I mean, everybody has skeletons, but I think this Pusha T isn't scared of his skeletons, probably. Yeah. But. Yeah. The beef is old, and it's like here's my problem with Drake.
Right.
Drake got burned, then he wanted to play the victim, like, oh, you went too low, and it's like, no, rappers have always gone low, always. That is what beef is. That is what going to war is.
I didn't want to go that far, and I was like, I'm glad he did it. To be honest,
it's. He used the public perception to kind of help.
He's trying to use it to say, oh, that's why I did.
I'm a better person. I'd never go.
Oh, exactly. When you thought you could handle him, you thought you were trying to go in. So I will give you that. But I'm glad he did because, again, I felt like it does not match his brand at all. It doesn't match who he is.
Drake is definitely in a
I take shots, but the level of shots that Pusha T. So Pusha T brought some old.
He was going to push him out of his comfort zone.
Right. That's what he did.
And guys in the chat,
he kind of changed the arena on him. It's like moving for a change of what's the cart thing?
Change of venue.
Change of venue.
Yeah.
So he changed the venue where y'all been like got gloves on.
Because Drake does a lot of subliminal stuff too. He'll say something sneaky about you in a pop song. You'll be like, is he talking about me? And people are like, nah, he's not talking about you. And then some people be like, man, I think he's talking about you. That Drake does that. And, Pusha called him on it. And
even when they do the direct back and forth, it's playful. There's certain things that I feel like they're willing to say to each other. But I feel even like Meek Mill's versus Drake. They went back and forth. He made fun of each other, but I feel like there was a level there.
Like a level.
There was a level that you couldn't because they used to be friends. I'm sure Drake knows stuff about Meek Mill. He didn't have to, but Meek Mill just didn't have anything to say above this level. And what Pusha T did was he went below that level.
Yeah, because see, I think
he went below the belt.
Like Drake was like, yo, I'm these new millennium rappers.
Right.
Pusha's like, but I still got that 90s in me, where it's like Redman, Tupac, Biggie, Prodigy, they
are totally different.
Whatever, everything's fair game. I'll talk about like Cameron would say stuff about people's moms.
This doesn't work. Hassan's like game blouses. I was like, in that skit, it would be like if Charlie Murphy had one.
That's funny. He said game.
Because Drake is clearly the blouse. He just didn't in this case.
Well, see, Drake is like, it's weird because when Pusha T was on Joe Budden's podcast, he did make a point of like them continuing to bring it up. It's kind of like another win for me because I know I got to you. Like I know it's not like I didn't win on I guess a popularity or a social level, but I know personally, like I got to you somewhere in there. I got to you.
Wait. I don't know how you could think you didn't get to someone.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is as they continue to bring it up, you know what I'm saying?
I think from the jump he was very clear that it got to him. Like when you snapping at 40 in this MS. He was very vocal about.
Now he did. Drake did try to use that as an out to not battle no more because he was like, "You wish death." He did not wish death on 40. He did not. He did talk about his MS. He did talk about not caring, but he did not wish death. Those are two different things. I know it's a line, but we got to be fair. If we're going to talk about war, point shirts, no point blouses.
Right. Oh, because the other team was shirts. Yeah. I definitely think shirts won this time. And my thing is he won, but I was like, I probably wouldn't touch anything Pusha T.
I think Drake.
He would have to come out with something so awesome.
Because Drake is. It's weird. Drake is in a weird place because he is. I don't know if I'd say all ages is the term, but he's definitely he's more accessible. Yeah, he's more accessible. All ages I don't think is the term I'm looking for, but accessible. And if you went this battle, this song that I'm like. If I hear about this song one more time, this magical song is going to end careers that ain't nobody heard. But anyway, and Prince talk about it, whatever. But say he came out with this song, I do think if this song existed, I do think people would look at him differently. So business wise, he does have to gauge that.
I was like, Pusha T also, it's kind of like.
He ain't got nothing to lose.
Exactly.
He ain't got nothing.
We've all been here. We've all been here. Somebody's done you dirty. You ready to go. You won't bring that old.
And you ain't got nothing to lose neither.
And my thing is, I maintain it's happened here. It's happened on the street to me. It's happened in real serious situations. This wasn't even serious. Just imagine serious, where somebody disses you. You are ready to fight. They do something bad and they'll hit you. You swipe your car. You ready to fight and then you have to pull yourself back and say, I have something to lose. Yeah. This person clearly has nothing to lose. Pusha T has nothing to lose by going in. He hasn't lost me. I was never really rocking with Pusha T like that. I'll never come with Steve, but he's not looking for me.
What Pusha did played once again. he played very strong to his base. You know, if we're going to talk about like war or politics, cats that are straight about lyrics and all like the hardcore like boom bap lyric guys. He played hard to that.
You brought up boom bap. That's for real.
Like those cats, he won them over. And even those cats that are fans of that, but they didn't really know about Pusha T or whatever. Because every time it's brought up, people got to go back and listen to the battle. Or say if they didn't hear the song, they only heard this first one, which was what was Infrared. If they only heard Infrared and they didn't hear Story Added On, they had to go back and be like, oh snap! So then he's converted those things. Right. So it works for him. Right. Drake is.
He's in a weird spot. His smartest response was one. You cannot go. We said this. Yeah. We said this when we talked about this a few months ago. He cannot go grittier. I'm positive.
And plus, it's funny. We don't know how it would sound with him trying to go grittier. Right. It might not come off right.
There's so much that can go wrong with this like super dark response, which is what you would have to do. Which is
probably why Jay Prince said don't do it.
Do it right. Which is what you would have to do. So there's so many things like you're gonna have to take this L because there's no way for you to come back and it's going to work for you. It's going to cost you far more to come back and win this battle that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, in the scope of your career,
it really doesn't.
It doesn't really mean
anything.
It's more of a. It's more of kind of like a badge of honor. Right. It's kind of like one of those things that you have to. It's kind of like earning your stripes. You know what I'm saying?
And also, what's the other expression where you get the bragging point?
Yeah. It's like, but you don't. But you're not going to. This isn't going to.
I love.
It's not going to help you sell more tickets.
Battle rappers. I know there are rules.
Like I love how Styles P was like, because Styles P is he's another one of those like rap lyrical guys. Styles P was like, there ain't no rules.
Exactly.
There ain't no rules.
There ain't no rules.
We done came up.
Like once I had really thought about it and like was like looking into the conversation, I said, there's really no rules. Like all your greats have said really foul things.
Because one of y'all greatest of all time, when people always be talking about Jay-Z has said some foul stuff about many rappers.
Many a rapper.
Yes, some very foul stuff. Pretty much on the level of Tupac. Everybody loved Tupac.
So I love me some Tupac, and I was like, I had to go on and just like sit down and be quiet because I was like, I love me some Tupac, but Tupac was on one.
And I'll say this one thing about Tupac, is Tupac went at greats when they were great.
True.
He went at big. I don't think, and I know people will be mad at this, I don't think Drake has gone at people in their prime. I think he's gone against. Now Pusha is in his prime as far as skills, but I mean like popularity wise. Like that would Drake would have to go at I don't know, maybe like Kendrick Lamar or something like that, or maybe he would have to.
It doesn't really make a lot of sense. But I mean, greats now because greats
there's a lot more to lose.
There's a lot more to lose, but I feel like the competitive energy is different now. It's different for this generation of rapper, where you can talk all that mess, but what's your work looking like? Like they're so creative. So
it's more about like how much am I selling, how much am I making? Like what's my content that I'm putting out?
Right.
Instead of like I'm better than you. I rap better than you. I'm more clever, or I got more charisma, or I can play with words better, or or I'm smarter, I'm wittier.
I think that's in the history of hip hop.
Yeah.
I know we haven't forgotten, but I think some people forget this came from nothing.
Yeah.
And when you come from nothing, sometimes your name, these rap battles, is all you got.
Yeah.
But it's so beyond all you have. And so
once we transcend to like making music.
Hip hop rap is mainstream. It is the pop music of the world, unfortunately. Yeah. And so the idea that was, I think, the problem with like a lot of the '90s rappers, because that's when that transition happened. Yeah, because it was happening kind of when Puff was coming in. Right. So '90s. And you have people who are holding on to something like that. Mentalities that are causing them all kinds of problems. Because the problem when you become famous and you're in the public's eye, everything is documented. You're going to catch charges that you would probably never have caught before you were famous. You don't have to let it go and talk about it and reminisce about it maybe, but you can't live it. And that was the pressure, especially here on the West Coast with gangster rap, is to like, you can't just be talking about it, even though it turns out like most of those guys was just talking about it.
Yeah.
I was like, that was the ironic
straight
thing.
up, I was believing, like, because I was at the age where I was believing everything. Like, I thought Cube was out here killing people.
Right.
Like, I thought Cube was out here.
And then you get older, like for me, it happened probably earlier than you, where you start hitting your teens. And I was a big Ice Cube fan. I still am. He kind of looks like my dad, so I'm like,
hey, it's my dad.
And I always thought my dad was a badass, which he was.
She told me some stories.
Don't come for him in his prime. He was trying to come at him now. I was like, he's an elderly man. But back in the day, you could catch those hands. I feel like Ice Cube. I feel like Ice Cube, the way he talked about how tough he was like he was low-key talking about my dad. He was like, he must have knew my dad. Because he did about the same age. And so,
her dad did not play.
And so, my dad was gangsta. Okay? And still was taking care of his.
Gangsta and strangely funny at the same time.
Really a funny guy. He still is.
Oh man.
So that's the thing. You'll later find out, but you have to make that transition.
Yeah.
And I think tradition is the hardest thing when it starts to not fit anymore.
Yeah.
And you're I'm a big traditionalist.
Yeah.
We have
that is a good question.
Traditions are awesome,
yeah.
But when do they not work? They, you do have traditions that become obsolete just because the culture moves forward so much.
So to the chat, I don't know how much or what type of hip hop fans you are, but do you think that battling as a kind of rite of passage has a place in hip hop anymore? Like, because to your point, there are a lot of MCs out now, or I don't even know how I call them MCs, but a lot of rappers out now that don't really seem concerned with kind of like that, like rite of passage, or maybe I don't know if it's a rite of passage or like that badge of honor of like, I've battled someone who was my equal and I won, or even if I lost, this was a historic battle.
Right, because
you know what I'm saying?
Like flip the script, like the Remy Ma, Nicki Minaj thing.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks Remy Ma like technically won. Like even though I have some issues with both diss tracks. I actually like Remy Ma. I was really rooting for her.
Remy's dope.
Yeah.
I know,
Her flow though sometimes a little stop and go, but that's my only thing. I was like, prison's hard. I was like, it is though.
Remy, shouts to Remy who watches the show, right. And also Nikki that watches the show.
And my problem with Nikki is that I feel like that chick has literally ran out of ideas, because I was listening to some old Nikki, and I was like, this is not why I'm so hurt, because I remember being like a Nicki Minaj fan, and my first blow was that she was using all the looks as just a gag. Yeah. I thought she was really, because I'm that type of black girl who's like, I wear weird colored lipstick. I usually have weird colored hair. I want to do the hats. I want to do weird outfits. So I thought, here's another chick like me. She's making it.
She's like, I'm just trying to be seen.
I was just trying to be seen and stick out, and I was like, So that was like strike one. Exactly. And then you got this like strike two, where like as time went along, and I feel like this happened to a lot of the young money. All the young money, all the famous young money, all the big young money.
All the young money's crew has ran out of steam.
Where it's like, the fatter they get, and I mean, there's no other, because everybody understands the idea of like, you hungry. Yeah. We all have this terminology in hip hop and just the black world in general.
I'm hungry, son. Trying to eat.
I was watching like a documentary about KRS-One. It was a history of hip hop, and KRS. The
Netflix joint?
Yeah.
All right,
and
cool.
He was saying how he was battling like these guys, and they were already in the scene, the hip hop scene in New York, and he's like, you can't, like, he's like, so he just had paired up with a DJ, and they came over to talk shit. And I love back in the day when it was to talk shit was to talk about hip hop shit. And I was like, man, I wish we had those kind of beefs now. Like, let's go now. I'll
and see, back then it was like,
you. We don't gotta fight. There's no guns and knives. And I'm gonna b-boy you into the ground.
Yeah, and it was because funny thing because Lisa and I just started watching that last night, so we're like on episode 2.
I've watched the whole thing. It's
I
really
completely
good.
forgot about I completely forgot about African Bambaataa essentially ceasefiring
a whole bunch of gangs
tons of gangs
in his particular barrio. So
for hip hop.
Yeah.
Like, look, y'all, let's stop fighting. Let's just rap. Right. Let's just dance.
And he's like,
let's just play music.
Yeah, we have to find somewhere to put that energy in, so we can do it in dancing.
We can spray paint
and rap.
We can
spray paint. He brought that was a connection to the art world in Manhattan.
Yep.
Like, he did phenomenal stuff.
And Cash would be, you would have these street cats like, yo, man, you getting on my nerves. Let's dance. And it was like real. It was like so real. It was real. It's like,
somebody,
you can't rap. Yes, I can.
You know,
let's rap now.
Like bang on you, and they would like come up to you and be like, hey, where you from? How they roll up on each other. It's like, hey, drop a verse right now. Yeah. And if you didn't have a verse, man, everybody clowning you.
Yeah, if you ain't have a verse, he was clowning you forever.
Needs to come back
badly. I would love that because I would rather guys be fighting with words, be fighting with art, be fighting with dancing.
I'm sorry, Little Miss Chocolate, I missed you.
Hello. Oh, Little Miss Chocolate in the house. What up? Yeah. So yeah, I think Drake is in a good place. My only thing is continuing to drag it up now. Joe Budden did make a good point. Like, this HBO thing could have been recorded, months ago or whatever. But it's like, it's still just dropped, so it's brand new for us. You know what I'm saying?
No, because of the stuff he brought up with Kanye.
It's semi-new. It was shot semi-recent.
And it might have been, now what I could say about that is it definitely wasn't shot beforehand, but it definitely was shot, maybe it could have been shot closer to the beat. So before they were like silent about it, so it just looks like it's a double whammy. And then the episode drops because the stuff is usually shot in advance. This is not happening in real time anymore. That's not how television,
because you gotta edit stuff and it has to be approved.
So it could be a lot closer to when the beef was actually happening or right after the beef happened. And so that would actually make a lot more sense. And then by it coming out when it did, then you have the TMZ interview, and being that they're messy, they're not going to pass up a chance on that. I actually appreciated the dialogue expanding on it. I think I can definitely say, hey, you lost that battle. That was crazy.
Word-wise, you lost.
Exactly. But at the same time,
you good.
You're like, you don't have to keep talking about this because it was a beef. It was
also, I don't like the we could have won. We could have won, but it's like just be like, no, man,
wouldn't
it
be
happen.
Powerful though, because in the same episode he was on, and when they were having just their discussion, because they have I guess he's supposed to be the interviewer, but he's really bad at it.
Yeah, it's weird because he's an interviewer, but also part of the conversation. And it's weird. Because he be cutting out people. I was like, I want to hear you. This is not to toot my own horn, but I feel there's some interviewers out there on larger platforms. I'm like, I ask better questions on the fly than this person does. Right. But it
is an art.
I mean, HBO, we have told y'all to get right with,
I remember when I first started doing it, nervous energy makes you talk.
Yeah. And maybe also he might be standing for one of them.
Right, exactly. And so you gotta remember like to chill and like I tell myself, your opinion doesn't count. You're here for the other person. Shush. Ask the question.
Your opinion only accounts to drive them to another question.
Exactly. So you can your chance for comment is literally to be like, oh, that's interesting, and so that leads me to
kind of like that.
Exactly. That you would say that. It's like, oh, Toast, I totally get you. Which reminds me, and you move the conversation forward.
Come on, y'all, stop being whack interviewers, man.
Exactly. And
like, XBL.
It's hard. Like I've done done panels where I was like moderating, and I was like, oh, it's so hard to like step out of that conversation. Even if you're not standing for anybody, it could be just a topic. Because a lot of times I'm asked to do panels that I feel very strongly about. It's going to be about women. It's going to be about race. It's going to be about entertainment, comics, or technology, and usually the intersection.
Or like journalism you be holding down.
Exactly. Journalism are the intersection of. And stuff. So when I'm speaking on panels, it's usually like these high hot tamale stuff. And so when you are
because there's always going to be someone who asks a question like something that's going to drop a bomb in the middle of the room.
Exactly.
It's like,
I said,
why is this the first question?
Thing, when I went to San Diego Comic-Con, I was a panelist, so I got to like dig in somebody's ass when they asked that question because I'm that person. And don't worry, I use all my $10,000 words. I was like,
but yeah, people be asking some crazy questions when you on a panel.
Yeah, right, they really do.
Yeah, yo, don't let the table fool you, man. Like, look.
You gonna give them that smoke?
Yeah, let me get on the panel. Y'all gonna see.
Right. But but the thing is, so I said I felt that it was good conversation he had because he really reconstructed the narrative. And I said the only thing I would say that came out of that conversation, of course, I mean, it's Drake's version, but I feel like Drake has more authority on what's going on in his life than the guy he doesn't speak to, like namely Pusha T. Like Pusha T, like I'm sure it's a very close-knit community when you're in the entertainment. So when these beefs get this hostile,
everybody knows weird. Someone.
Yeah,
somehow.
Really adjacent. And so Jay Prince brought up, how he got his information, and they were like kind of doubting that, and they were saying that actually how they feel about his interviews, responding to their interviews, is that he's doing damage control. Which I do feel that way. So because when I read,
it's weird now that I hear that because
I read
Pusha was like, I didn't get it from Kanye, I got it from old girl, and 40's girl.
40's girl.
Yeah, okay. So 40 has some pillow talk, or just when you talking with your lady or whatever, and he got it from her girl, from his girl, and that's how. So he's like, this ain't had nothing to do with Kanye. He's like, Kanye knew.
Well, but, no, I'm not saying because they never say it was Kanye that was his source. He said that was someone close to him.
Well, see, I felt like Drake alluded to Kanye giving him the information.
Not in that interview.
That's kind of how I felt.
No, I watched that part. I didn't get that from that. I know he felt betrayed by Kanye because that whole it was. He had reason to be upset with Kanye.
It doesn't look good.
Kanye did him
but
dirty.
They both have an on-again, off-again relationship.
Yeah.
It's weird with them two.
But I feel like, okay, so that's the thing. It's like they're not, what's it? Pusha T, not Pusha T.
Oh, look,
Max just wants to be in the conversation. Don't worry, Max, we see you.
Max, we see
Hi,
you.
Max.
We love you, Max. How you doing? How you doing, Max? We miss you.
Okay, all right there. We gotta check in the kids every
Oh man,
he doesn't like African
Bambaataa,
apparently.
I will say this. Well, African Bambaataa had his issues.
Okay.
Remember when guys, put in the comments what came out about Africa Bambaataa. I can't remember. Was it an underage girl or something? I'm trying to remember.
Ooh.
Something came out. And correct me, guys. Let me know in the comments, in the chat, what happened with Africa. I can't remember. Something happened. But let me know in the chat.
That's what he's referring to.
Now I did see Max said, battling isn't needed to earn stripes, just like not every NBA player has played at the Rucker. Mm-hmm. So, okay, I guess because rap is seen as a sport. So I guess I could go with that. Not every baller has played the Rucker. You know what I'm saying? Because so maybe it is time to start moving away from that. Even though there is a part of it that's like you kind of want to see people test their metal against each other. Right. But I can see what you're saying. I can see, because the Rucker used to be a rite of passage. Like if you were hot in college, you had to stop through the Rucker and play. And you know what I'm saying? And could you play against the hottest ballers in New York? And now that's not really, I think it's not really a thing anymore.
It really isn't.
Because
I was like, I do think that everybody in the art world challenging each work. You keep hearing a lot of rappers challenge Gambino's like rap doesn't do what it's supposed to do. Our rap has changed where a lot of rappers, even the trap ones, are talking about they want to be artists. It's really just become a vehicle. I've said that earlier.
Yeah.
I've said that to other people. It's really a vehicle. And the old hip hop, unfortunately the cultures were raised are going the way of the dinosaur, because a lot of people come into this as a way to move on to other things. Like
because now it's
pop.
Well, I mean, it has been, but it's becoming more and more of like the stepping stone, or like like the quick get rich quick scheme, or something, or the hustle to get into movies, or the hustle, something like that. So
there is something about becoming like a big music star that just gives you doors that other
I mean, Lady Gaga just came out with A Star Is Born.
Exactly. You go into music,
and people talking about Oscars with it.
Exactly, and they, for real though. Yeah. And they open up all these doors, but there's no like if you became a movie star
and then try to rap, people be like, nah. So it's weird because even there are people that are actors, actresses that can sing or can rap. It's just, but it's like they don't let you go from they don't let you go from acting to music as much as from music to acting. That's interesting, because there are many people that are actors that are musically talented, whether it's with an instrument or singing or rapping or whatever. And it just doesn't. Usually, people ain't trying to hear that. They like, nah, we good. Keep on acting. You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to hear that.
Exactly. So I do question how that tradition is going to work out. And so that was my thing. I like how he did tie it up. And he brought some things in. So my ultimate point was that I felt that he stretched some stuff, and even the way he got his information is telephone. We all know how telephone works. Yeah. And stuff like that. So you went in hard, deep, you won a battle. It's not always by having it right, but where's the line when your information doesn't sound like it's the way it was presented, where it's almost like a lie. Because the killer line in that in his thing was that you're playing border patrol with your son. You don't want anything to do with your son. Blah 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 blah. And that turns out
that was bomb.
That was bomb, but it looks like that's
also your hair don't nap enough. That was kind of, but we know
it's like made for bomb lyrics. Yeah. But if it's okay.
It was kind of got through, because
the way it's got. I'm not even about it's got. Well, the reason why I brought up how it's got through is that's the problem. Do you have to be accurate when you're throwing this beat? If you're allowed to be as gritty as possible,
should you also be accurate? That's a good question.
Because because then what's to stop you from lying on people? Or just making up stuff that would sound funny?
Well, I guess to him the story that he had was accurate. Yeah. So I guess it's fair,
but that's my thing.
From what he heard,
you're digging, right? Because the way he explained, because then once I read the story, right, when you sent it to me, I said, I said, well, let me go and see what he's saying about it. Because I had seen some pushback, but his pushback, I think I saw him on the Breakfast Club when this first happened. Maybe a little bit after it was done. Yeah. And his was like, I give no fucks. I said what I said.
Pusha was like, yo.
Now I feel like his interviews are starting to change, and the energy he puts into defending, like, maybe he's just being passionate. I'm like, okay, maybe this is just him being passionate. Yeah. But when he goes to explain it, it's like, you sound like low-key obsessed, your damn self. You talking about, I got under his skin. He mentioned your wife in passing, did not even insult her. So
that's what Drake does, though. Drake, look at all Drake's battles. He always comes at your girl.
That's a double standard.
Drake always
comes. That's a double standard.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you can't say in passing. That's his way to try to be funny. It's like, oh well, nah, because I think that's Drake does it in passing to have a way out. To be like, I didn't go that far. And it's like, well, dude, we all know what you were doing. It's like,
I hear what you're saying, but still.
It's kind of like if I said something about it and you'd be like, you was trying to be funny.
But that's my point. It stayed here. Yeah. It's still here.
Yeah. It was still at all ages level.
All ages level.
And Pusha said,
yeah. Well, I would say he did this.
Oh yeah, he did.
He did this. And that's my thing. It's like, okay, he does a little mention in passing. He thinks he's being funny. Yeah. And then you go here with it. And I'm like, and you go so far, but then he's the hurt.
He did go.
He's the hurt one. So while Drake's trying to play the victim, so is Pusha.
Well, now I think Well, from the Joe Budden joint, what I got from him is not that he's playing the victim, but he's like, I don't like this narrative that like I'm the foul guy when this dude has been doing stuff ever. And I guess, and see, since we're not in the industry, it's tough. But he starts talking about like when he was on Young Money, there would be little stuff, and like in the industry that we don't see,
right.
It'd be like little stuff, you say little stuff, and at a party say little stuff, either about him or Cudi or Kanye or whatever. Right. You say little stuff, say stuff about Big Sean, whatever, and it's always like back and forth, back and forth.
Like these two peas in a pod situations.
Yeah,
because I was like,
where it's like we both been saying stuff, and now it's public.
Exactly. When I've been listening to it, like I looked at 2 interviews because I think the first one I looked at for whatever reason cut off. So I had to go find another one, and he kept like giving because he even sits down with Joe Budden and stuff like that.
Because he was like, I don't know where it started. He was like, it's always been something going on.
Right. Now,
and I guess it just came to a head.
When it first came down, because Young Money is under Cash Money.
Yeah.
Cash Money, Pharrell will not work with Cash Money ever again.
Maybe that's where it kind of low-key started.
It was Pharrell and when Pusha was part of.
So maybe that's when it. Maybe that's when
exactly.
it. That's maybe like the sort of.
And you're inheriting.
Max light ignition point. Maybe
You're inheriting because this happened before Young Money was even brought together.
So you're kind of inheriting bad blood
and stuff like that. And so and I feel like a lot of it when he went back to do what sounds like damage control to me. Like he's spinning his own narratives how he sees these things about his son, about the blackface and things like that. Mm-hmm. I maintain that Drake is a black guy, and what he was trying to say with the blackface, I mean, for us, it's like, well, did you really? It's 2008. Did you really need to?
Yeah, it was like
he's in Canada, and people realize that things.
Canada it's so different. It's a different culture.
And other countries are going there. Like I see that all the time in other countries with where the diaspora is. Where they're going through stuff, or they're just arriving to something that we've been done with for a minute.
we've finished that.
Finished that.
So
sometimes they're a little bit ahead of us in other ways.
Yeah, but it also the reason it was tough. See, this is why you have to be open, and I'm not saying everybody has to know everything about your life. That's not true. But this was like a professional thing because. It's weird. Drake tried to make this big statement about social injustice and black, and it's like you ain't never said nothing about black people ever in your life. Now all of a sudden it's like so it didn't look. But see, if he had said that earlier,
but my thing is that's his narrative, right?
Yeah.
That's Pusha's narrative. My thing is it's a different country.
Yeah, it is a different
10
country.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
This is before he blows up. It's 2008.
Yeah.
Star for Gun doesn't come out until 2009.
Yeah, because
so he's in Canada.
He's still trying to make it as an actor, and he's having problems as a black man trying to be an actor.
You move into rap. You're doing most of your stuff here. Maybe he got where he fell in the hierarchy. He's the blackest thing at his school. Remember the rights. He's the blackest dude at school. Yes, he's light as hell. That should tell you something.
Yeah.
That should tell you the different dynamic. My thing is I feel like Drake has there's some issues of him being from a different country, him being super
because he doesn't really understand it's a different culture.
It's a different culture, and I don't know. I guess I've worked with people like this. I've definitely discussed this topic, and this is such a nuanced topic where there's things that black people, American black people, are not acknowledging. So they can get their jollies off and get their rocks off. Yeah, and I don't think I ever want to reduce or marginalize somebody's blackness, because when he was in Canada, he was struggling as an actor. Yeah. And it was due to him being black and not wanting to be a stereotype.
Which is why he did the blackface.
Deny that dude. When he got here, he's no longer the blackest dude in the room. By far.
Matter of fact, to a certain degree, and people aren't going to like this, but it's true. When he got here, he kind of upgraded. Right. Because he's light-skinned.
He's light-skinned.
So, he's light-skinned and he's handsome.
Exactly.
But remember, there's a whole nother thing when you look good. Yeah, so when you're attractive.
Exactly.
So he's light-skinned.
We acknowledge this stuff all the time.
He's attractive.
We're always making fun of him being light-skinned.
And he's actually talented.
And so remember when he got his face on that plane and Lil Wayne was like, how the hell did you get your face on a plane? We were all talking about it then, like how he could just come in and just level up. While he's running the game, he was handed those keys because in our dynamics, racial dynamics here, he is not the darkest thing at his school.
Also, remember, there's something about American culture that likes, I guess, exotic or international. Even look at actors and actresses that get roles for black stuff in America.
Right.
You'll be like, oh snap! There's this new black movie. It's about a real story about such and such and Watts. You'll be like, hold up, this actress is from Britain?
Right.
Don't we have actors and actresses in
I just don't understand how you would come here. And they might be vocal, which it seemed like he was vocal when he was in his country.
Yeah.
He understood the dynamics. And then he got here and he's like, let me.
It's like, oh, the dynamics don't exist here.
Well,
they do,
they exist.
But I thrive a little bit better.
He would feel comfortable speaking on. I would have a hard time. Like, I literally had a moment that one of my older homegirls was telling me about when she went to she was in London for a gay festival, and they had this one movie. It was very small. Like, oddly enough, their gay festivals in London aren't very big. So she went to Gay Pride in London, and it's not very big, especially for women.
Because London is a big city.
Yeah, so. And I thought that was like an open thing there, but apparently not. So she go there. She was real like juiced to go, and then she got there, and they had like one gay film, and so the film gets
like just one lonely film.
Right, when we have like a whole festival just for gay films here, and it gets ripped apart, and she feels some kind of way. Now, Hassan's accusing me of caping for Drake. I am not.
I don't think we're caping for Drake.
We're not. I'm trying to bring.
We're trying to talk about all angles.
All angles, and this is something that annoyed me that never got acknowledged. Where I'm like, have your fun. It's very funny, but my problem with us going ha and being funny. In any case, even things outside of Drake, I'm using this actually as an example. Of sometimes people start taking their jokes and their ha as like facts, and so that's really my issue with this. Is there's a lot of things that aren't being. I'm like, okay, it's ha, it's funny, but then the next time we have a conversation with something similar or adjacent to this
topic, it's seen as like a fact.
It's a fact, and I'm like, I have a problem with these becoming established facts.
Well, and it's weird because you do have both sides kind of doing that. You have Jay Prince walking around talking about a pig mentality, and it's like Jay Prince. Jay Prince, you watch the show. Jay Prince, that old brother that's on the block, he's still cool, but he like old, but so he gonna try to learn you something.
Right.
But at the same, it's a pig mentality.
Yeah, because somebody was like saying, well, Drake, don't try to explain blackface to Black American people. And I'm like,
well,
okay.
He had to explain himself, but it didn't look good. Because when he came out, I was like, Dad, what are you doing that for? And then when he explained, I was like, well, I was like, but then
I felt like I get it.
Yeah, when he explained it, I was like,
nobody had. Well, they actually did have that same energy when Spike Lee did Bamboozle. A lot of people were against it.
People hate.
They're like, why?
When Bamboozle first came out, people was mad.
But they were accosting his blackness. They weren't costing his attention. They were feeling like it was just unnecessary.
Yeah, it was unnecessary to do. Yeah.
Why do we need to bring that up again? He was like, his whole point is that it needed to be brought
Michael
up again.
Rappaport's whack self in there too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Michael Rappaport watches the show, but he whack. When that stuff he said.
Right.
Did he say something about Janet? Who he said? I think he said something about Janet. And he whacked.
He didn't defend it well.
But the thing that hit me with Drake was like when he explained it, I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah,
but then I started thinking about the stuff that he's said in interviews or talked about. But then I was like, dude, you ain't never been about like the black community. But that would like you said, when he moved here, maybe he didn't feel a need to.
He didn't feel a need to, or he would feel like I felt like he would got his ass handed. Just like some people are like, you don't need to explain to us what it is to be black. We know that would have happened. Because that would have happened if he had tried to be like loud about
Amanda Stenberg be getting that joint every now and then.
All the time. And she's from here, right? Is she from here?
But she like, I don't know. Let us know if Amanda Stenberg is from here, but I know she's half Danish or whatever. But
yeah, she's mixed, but I think she's American.
She is famous for what I would say kind of like, armchair activism.
Yeah, she's a man. Well, I feel like she's often accused of that, but people forget how old she is.
Yeah.
I was like, some people at her age might go off. For her, she's I don't know. I feel like I'm not ready to like diss her because I said she's.
Well, yeah,
she's
I'm not dissing her. I'm just saying
no, that's true. I think in general, like you're alluding to how people like she's always after the fact. She's a little slow on the upkeep.
she's very.
She's always from a rested, protected place about it.
Yeah,
and I was like, maybe it's going to take her some time to figure this stuff out.
And she's still. The thing where I jumped off board with Amanda Listenberg is when there was something going on about colorism. Was it a year or two ago? Probably maybe 3 years ago now. It was a while back.
Wait. What was this about? Because everybody forgets how much shade that girl got. We talk about.
She said something about. It was about the Black Panther.
I thought it was about the Black Panther because you said 3 years ago. I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it wasn't that long. It wasn't that long. Sorry, it was maybe about a year ago.
Pretty much no. I think Black Panther is like already filmed. It's almost here. And
if somebody asked her about being in it or something.
Yeah, she's like, would you want to be in it? She's actually. I turned down the role because. And my thing is like. Okay, I had that. I had that issue too.
Amanda Listenberg, who watches the show, but
okay.
And
then, wait a minute. I gotta look this up
because
I don't want to get it right because I remember we all having side-eye like girl.
She also did an interview about The Hate You Give, and she was talking about how effective the film was. Well, she was alluding to the film's effectiveness on The Daily Show. She did an interview with Trevor Noah, and who also watches the show. What up, bro? How you doing? But she was talking about how many white people were crying after the movie, like it was a badge of honor. And I'm like, I don't care if white people crying. Are you gonna change what you're doing? Like, I feel. I'm not telling anyone not to go see The Hate You Give. I've seen the trailers. I've seen the extended clips and stuff. It comes off to me like an updated Crash, which is, and if you haven't seen the movie Crash, Crash is a very superficial way of Hollywood addressing racism. Now, I could be wrong because I've only seen trailers and clips from the film, but it does look like one of those movies like Crash where it's very Hollywood superficial racial addressing to make white people feel good.
Right. And
I could be wrong, but in the the marketing that they've put out, I'm just like, this looks very surface layer, very surface level, and I don't know if I'm up for that. Because I remember Crash got an Oscar, and I was just like,
it did.
I was like, really? Like the Valentine's Day of racial movies? Like, yeah, I said
it. But
shouts out to Terrence Howard, May. You know what I'm saying? Just saying.
There's also controversy about the film because the main character was described as a dark skin. Oh yeah. Yeah. That was a thing too. So with this the first thing we brought about Black Panther is that she stepped away because she said this isn't a space I should be taking. I was like, okay. That's cool. I mean, I think it was a little unnecessary. I was like,
because she added in the fact that she turned down a role, like I could have been in it.
She
but
wasn't really in the running. And
it's like,
and I don't know. I was like,
she does some very light skinned things.
So, oh my goodness.
Look, she reminds me of light-skinned pretty girls that I went to high school with that were kind of like fake woke. That's what Amanda Listenberg reminds me of. Now, I don't know her personally, but when it comes to like issues and stuff, that's how she kind of reminds me of. There were twins, they were pretty and light-skinned, and they were very fake woke. But look, y'all don't need to know where I went to high school, but she reminds me of those type of girls where it's like, they're activists.
I think she's figuring it out.
Oh, she just, all right, cool. All right, you know what? I'll ease up.
I feel like all the things that like I feel like I'm
she's
trying
just
to think of like 19-year-old
figure it away. Yeah, because
like,
she is
the
19.
Things I would do, and I'm like, some of this stuff happened before she's 19. She's 19 now.
Yeah, you're right. She's 19
now.
So
and I'm
she
like,
is still young.
I listen to young people all the time because I work at a college.
And see, I was different when I was young, so it was, I was, like 19, like pretty much all high school. I was fresh off of reading like everything Malcolm X said, reading like everything Martin said, Stokely Carter, like all these people. So it was a very militant Mike. It was a very militant young brother.
This is like Mike Light.
I was like, look, you really gonna eat those French fries, brother? Do you know that potatoes come from the white man? No, but I was very militant. When it came to like politics or government or anything like that in a class like that, I was definitely like, this happened, that's not a fact, that's not, and I would go back and forth with my teachers, not in a disrespectful way, but very, very matter of factly. When I was, it was a different Mike. It was a very combative. Right. young brother.
I agree with Max is saying The Help explained racism very well. Yeah, I thought that was a powerful movie.
Yeah, okay.
The Help was like, I was like, dang, ain't that it? And it's like it showed you to the levels people went to present, like, oh, you can't have them even using the bathroom, but they're all there all day cleaning. You have a separate bathroom for your black staff. It's not like you're going to go hire a white
come in and clean
person to do the job.
Yeah.
Because that's what people don't understand. Like, for a very long time, those were black people jobs.
Yeah. And there was a long time where every service job was only for black people. Because white people were above that.
Exactly. Recession of 1929 changed that. But even then, it took a minute. It's still the image of servitude was black. Because all through the 30s and 40s, you got Ancient Mama, you got all those images in the movies.
Yeah.
And in real life, it was starting to ease up in certain places because people just needed
people just needed work.
Exactly. But The Help is in the South, isn't it?
Yeah, the help was based in, was it in Tennessee or Kentucky or something? I'm trying to remember where it was set at. I can't. Let us know in the comments. I can't remember where it was set now that I think about it.
I do think there's movies that really get to it a little bit better. I haven't seen it. The Hate You Give.
So I'll have to see it, but it's just the marketing. I was like, when I saw the marketing, I was just like, this looks very surface level, and it looks, and I hate to say it, but it looks like something Amanda Stenberg would be in. But she's young, man. And she's young. Like she's just trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? She's young.
I talk to people.
She's still at least bringing up these conversations.
Exactly. She's doing. She's trying. Like, I try to keep that in check.
Yeah, she is.
We are like. We make ours grow up way too quick, and they gotta be like this and on it. And what you're doing. That's it's great for black excellence, but it's also not every person grows like that way.
Yeah, and it is exhausting at times.
We put a lot of pressure on
our celebrities.
Mixed or not, I still recognize that she recognizes herself as a black woman.
Yeah, she's black.
Exactly. So I'm that's how I look at it.
She is someone the police would still consider black. They ain't gonna be like, oh, she's half Danish. No, it's gonna be like, get out the car.
Exactly. And so I want to give her time to grow into that. Like, she's trying that. I hope somebody takes her under her wing.
And she is taking on a lot of projects that are trying to say something.
So I was like,
props
give her a little time. Let her know,
props
you ain't there, boo boo. Just keep on working on it. Keep on reading. Keep on reaching out. Keep on working.
On moving.
Keep on. Because I feel like I don't want them to shut down. It's like, my thing is that, like, if you're like, oh, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, and nobody's taking the time. I'm hoping she's going to see this or other things and be like, okay, maybe I can do a little.
Yeah, because Amanda does watch the show. You know what I'm saying?
I can do a little bit more. I can do a little bit better to understand these, and then you always got to consider who's around these people.
Yeah, and who's making the movie and who's writing the script and stuff that she's not particularly in charge of.
Exactly, and she's still trying to work. She's not some big ass star either.
Yeah,
I don't feel like
she's still got to work.
Like,
cause she got
for days.
something
like that.
She ain't got no. She ain't got no like $20 million payday.
Right. She's not like. That's my thing. I also don't like pushing people, especially us, because we know how hard it is to get in the industry. We know how hard it is to get the jobs, and then we put this extra weight on you. Like you got to carry the culture. You got to fight for the culture.
You best believe y'all. Look, it's what six people up in here right now. Bet money. NERDSoul blow up tomorrow. They're gonna be like, "Yo, man, what you do for the kids in Rwanda?" Be like, "Yo, man, I just got here."
Right? Can I breathe?
What about the black senior citizens in Chicago? Be like, I don't know. I just found out about it. You just told me.
So then you compound that by being a really young person. It's like,
it's like,
I was like, I don't know. Again, I like to be the voice of reason when I can. I don't pop off at everybody. I want to be the voice of reason.
You know what?
Like, give some people some time to grow into it.
Okay, all right.
Grow into the bridges.
I'll give you that. I'll ease up. Amanda, I apologize. I'm sorry. I hope that you forgive me. But if you don't, I will continue to strive to be easier and more fair when it comes to you and your plight, your roles, your statements about colorism, all that.
You can still check her on the statements, like if she,
I'm still gonna check. I'll take that back. I'm gonna check.
And say some wild, incorrect stuff. Then yes, as the culture, we should be like, "Hey, you ain't got that right." No. I just feel like she's just being hit at all, like whatever she's trying to do. Yeah. I say if she does something out of line, let her know how and why that's out of line, because I run into like literally.
Because there are there's some sisters out here that just don't like her just because they don't like her.
Right. So let's be real. Like some of the hate's from just that. Yeah. Like she's out here like getting like winning. And you're like, I just hate. But no, I definitely run into like young black people and like they don't know nothing.
Yes.
They ain't trying to do nothing.
Man. There's some young ladies in my family that's like they are not interested in anything. They're like, look, what's on Snapchat?
You're right. And so I'm just we need to mentor our young black people who are interested in the culture and the cause.
Got to make sure we kick the truth to the young black youth.
Let them know when they misstep and say, "Oh, sister, you obviously."
I see where you was trying to go.
Trying to go.
I got you.
You missing some history here, and that's how I like to go about. I don't really spend a lot of time doing teaching moments for like other races anymore.
Yeah, we ain't got it. But we teaching our own.
I do say we need to make time for our own, because that's the problem. You can't treat them like this is the spades, where they're either too young or too old to teach them how to play spades. We can't be doing that. This is more important.
Yo, look, straight up. Look, you coming to my table, you better know how to play. Unless you on the other team. If you don't know how to play, you on the other team, I'm cool.
Right.
I'm like, you just reneged. I'll take that.
Right.
I'll take that.
And always establish the rules before you start
playing.
Yeah,
look. The big joker is always wild. Don't be trying to play.
Everybody does that. I do that.
It's either the big joker. All right. Deuce of spades, big joker, little joker, then everything else.
Right.
All right. Let's not look. We ain't playing no weird rules.
Okay.
All right. Deuce of spades, big joker, little joker.
Okay.
That's how we do it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? There it is. That's how we play.
Exactly. But I guess as a wrap-up story, Luke Cage. I think that dropped.
Yeah. Luke Cage. Oh, and big shout out tonight. Arcatron and I will be running down season 3 of Daredevil. We'll be doing that live on this channel. So if you've been watching Daredevil, or if you already watched it and want to chill out with us, we'll be doing that tonight. But Luke Cage was canceled by Netflix. I don't know how a show that broke Netflix gets canceled, but I do have a theory. I don't think that this show or Iron Fist was essentially canceled. I think Disney decided to not renew the contract because they have the Disney service coming out next year. Mm-hmm. So they're like, no, we're not renewing. Next year we got our own Disney app or whatever coming out.
That's the positive thing. Oh, just a few comments. Fox and Socks was like, haha, black women will hit black girls with the now sis when mentoring moment comes up. For real though. But Fox you got to do it. House. You got to do it. I'm not mad at the now sis and hitting her with the Prince gif that where he like turns around from the piano.
Yo, that is mad funny. That piano turn is so funny.
It's so funny. But yeah, Luke Cage. Yeah, that's the theory everybody's going to, that these shows are slowly being pulled. The more popular shows are being pulled. Yeah. I think without
after a while they said that no Disney content will be on Netflix. Now of course it's going to like trickle off.
And we forget Disney's buying everything in its grandmother, and what that means. You go, oh, Disney won't be on there. Okay, whatever. And then we forget they own Star Wars. Yeah. They own Marvel now. Yeah. They own so much. Yeah. I hate
and now they own Fox. So it's like the only thing that's bad about this is that we're gonna be forced because Disney owns so much. Okay. There's only two, like I said, there's only two companies that can do this: Disney and Warner Brothers. Mm-hmm. Those are the only two. You know, those are the only two that can do this. Comcast, yes, they own Universal and NBC, but it's still not enough to come out, you know, $13 a month. But Disney, on the other hand, you got classic Disney TV shows that were live action and animated. Then you got the modern Disney with all the CGI stuff. Then you got Pixar. Then you got Marvel. Now you got Fox. And you got Lucasfilm, which is Indiana Jones and Star Wars. Disney could charge anywhere up to, I think Disney could charge anywhere up to what Netflix is charging at, what is it, $13.99?
$13 and people 4 screens.
Yeah, so about $13.99, $9.99. And people will be cool. I honestly think in the long term, Netflix and Disney could probably charge upwards anywhere under $20, and I think people will be cool. Over 20, people will be like, oh. But I think if Netflix or Disney went up to say like 15, 16, people would be mad, but they'd be cool.
Any of that.
But what I'm saying is like, I'm just saying like with what they have and what they're pulling out, they're giving you the value. Right. It's worth it if you're watching it all the time.
We, in principle, like my thing is, I mean, I'm pretty sure that with all those different entities under Disney, they can create really good original content. Yeah. But it has yet to be seen.
Because the Star Wars show will be coming out next year with it.
Yeah, Netflix has a running start with this.
Yeah, they do.
Where even the Hulu came very shortly afterwards, or close to.
And Hulu,
I think Hulu was actually
Hulu got some joints. Hulu was first. I think Hulu was first because Netflix was still physical.
Yeah. And then they moved into the space and ran it. So Hulu was first, and that just goes.
And Hulu got some joints.
It's all about execution.
But
I think Hulu's got it together now. I have Hulu. Yeah. I enjoy my Hulu very much. I got the Gifted on there.
I got rid of Hulu, but I still got the Gifted because I got the hookup. I got one of those.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just saying. Yeah. You know, shouts out to my parents.
I love Gifted. Y'all should check out Gifted. I feel like it's the slept on TV show.
And if you watch it live, I live tweet. One week I live tweet East Coast, one week I live tweet West Coast.
I'm gonna have to come to that live tweet.
Oh yeah. I love the Gifted.
Nobody's giving this show enough love. And the show's really it's a well lot written, better. And it's a lot better than a lot of shows.
I thought it was gonna suck, and it was good. Mm-hmm. I thought it was gonna. I was like, when they told, there was like it's a family, there's mutants, and they're just going. I was like, man, it's gonna suck. And then when I watched the first episode, I was like, oh, okay. And then it got better and better, and I was like, yo.
The writing's really phenomenal.
And this season has been cool. I haven't seen this week's episode because this week was just crazy. I'm prepping for LA Comic-Con.
Right.
But yo, this show is good. I know one thing. Andy up in that joint by himself with mad ladies. I'm just let that slide. Andy ain't never coming home. I'm just letting you know that.
Oh, no.
Andy ain't coming home. All right. Oh, no. A young superpowered Mike would not be coming home.
Oh, you ain't right.
Mom, I love you, but we must part ways.
That's messed up.
Yo, like
for real though.
Homie is chilling up in that joint. Cause I'm like, I was watching. I was like, is he the only guy in there? I was like,
much.
Man.
Alan Lewis. Netflix is having financial problems. They owe money.
Yes. Really?
Wait. Netflix.
Well, all the money they made?
Oh, well, to run the content at the level that they have been doing it.
Yeah.
Netflix owes, and I could not believe this. I had to double check it when I read it, and I feel like this was a year ago when this came out, and they were actually running a lot of articles.
Wow.
And so I was reading all of them just to be sure that they're in a $20 billion hole.
What?
Right. And they're making good money.
But they just spent like $20 billion on brand new content.
I think
So
that's
how
what
many-
the 20 building that everybody's talking about.
Oh.
Is to get the content.
So
that's what
it's not really a whole. It's more of an operating budget, but it's
investment. So right now,
but when you think about it, the server space they gotta have.
Yeah, do everything.
For a worldwide company, you'd assume like the server space for Netflix has got to be like the size of like a Costco or a Walmart or something. Like this only got to be. And I ain't talking about that baby Walmart, that little grocery store Walmart. I'm talking about the real Walmart.
Yeah, so from the
shouts out to everybody that know about that real Walmart.
I read on this is that it's more like a strategy, tactical. We're doing this to really build up our defenses. So
it's really more like they took out a loan to get new content.
This happened just last year, so they already were aware of what Disney was doing. That rumor about Disney pulling its content is actually over a year old.
Yeah.
So they were already aware that was going to happen, and that's why I think they become more and more heavy. Because they got originals. Up the
and they bought Mark Millar's company.
Right.
Yeah. So they got comic book stuff coming. They knew they was like once they found out Disney was doing this for real, they was like, all right, we need to take out a loan, we need to get some real because it's about to get serious.
It is.
And I feel not as serious as it could be because Warner Brothers ain't doing nothing. DC Universe, I do think there's some value on it, but I forgot how much it is. But I don't think
Warner Brothers doesn't do well in new platforms.
Yeah, you're right.
Don't.
DC Universe and Titans. You guys have seen the review on the show. If you haven't, you can check it out. I'm on the fence about it. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's just alright, and it's definitely not a flagship show like Star Trek Discovery. That's a show. That's a flagship show. That's a show that you can hang your service on and be like, all of our shows will have this production quality. Because whether you like Star Trek or not, that show looks good.
Right.
And it is well done. I love Star Trek.
Well, that's what they were saying. Like, CBS got this one show off, right? And they were saying that actually CBS and a lot of the primetime networks, there's a lot of networks that can't compete with Netflix.
No. They don't got enough.
Of production quality they're putting into their films.
Yeah.
Like something like The Queen that's winning all kinds of awards and stuff like that.
Yeah, Netflix is just
I watched a few episodes. It's actually very good if you're into those kind of dramas. I'm what's the word I'm looking for? Enamored by royalty.
Yeah.
It's just not quite my thing.
But people are digging it.
If people are really into it. Like I talked a little bit about the royal wedding because of Miracle. And so I was like, but still not really my thing. There's the whole flip side of the monarchy and like any monarchy for that matter. Yeah. So I was like, I'm just gonna let y'all be great and sit that there. And
let y'all be great and sit it on down.
Yeah, exactly. Let y'all enjoy that. I don't care enough about it to even get into it about it. Yeah. So but no, then there's still people who are like, Luke Cage wasn't that good of a show, so that's why they canceled it. I mean, we all know Fake Fist sucked, but
y'all, especially, you know who you are. All the people that look like me acting like y'all ain't like Luke Cage.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
y'all just doing that to be seen.
2 was really hot.
Y'all just doing that to be seen.
I was looking for
y'all with y'all wet wipe mayonnaise show watching, loving them joints. But you got all these problems with Luke Cage.
All these problems.
I ain't here.
All the problems with Luke Cage.
But be loving Riverdale. If you don't get on my face,
no,
you don't get on my face. I said it. Turn that Luke Cage on. But with that said, we love all y'all.
Exactly. And then Alan just also brought up Disney becoming a monopoly in SPAT. And I agree.
Yeah, it is. It's weirdly
we
close.
We have antitrust laws in this country, but we don't have an administration that's interested in them.
Yeah, so, well, that's also. I think that's why they made the. It's weird.
Because Fox, they didn't get all of Fox.
No. They got only the TV and the film stuff.
Right.
Fox kept their sports stuff.
Right.
So anything regarding news and sports, Fox kept. I guess Fox proper kept. And then anything TV and film, Disney took. But they are getting. They're getting weirdly close. It's weird because the only argument they have against it is, well, look at Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers. Well, Time Warner Time owns grip of stuff, so it's kind of hard to. And then you have Comcast slowly buying up like smaller stuff, like because they thought they were slick. NBC bought Universal, then Comcast bought NBC. They thought they were slick. It's like, dude, we knew what you was doing, but it's like y'all want to provide cable and then control the cable that's on your. Like we know, but
it
Disney's
really doesn't
getting
make
close.
sense.
Disney's getting in a weird place,
and this is why. I mean, not to really off topic, but this is why net neutrality is so important.
Yeah.
This doubling down, this leveling up, this piling up of all these different. We need like diversity. People who are like always about like this is what keeps things balanced in a capitalist society. That you have a fair amount of competition, you have options, and then when everybody buys up everything, where you only have a few people, monopolies happen, and then we fall into all kinds of problems. All kinds of abuse is going to go down because at the end of the day, people are people.
And don't forget, Disney got caught up in that wage fixing stuff with animators 2 years ago.
Right, and if they own all the places you can work, what you gonna do?
Because when it comes to animation, where you gonna work? Right. I want to work for Pixar.
We already have extreme wage stagnation in this country.
Yeah.
We already have wages that are way below what they should be right now. Yeah. And we're all in all places. Even in the middle of the country, people struggle now to pay rent because our wages have been depressed for so long because of lobbying corporations.
Yeah. Meanwhile, CEOs have been seeing like record profits,
big bonuses, and the people who make this stuff happen for you, you don't even want to pay them. No. So it's a big problem in the entertainment industry. It's a huge problem just global wide. People are not getting paid. People honestly, it's like what can I get away with?
Yeah.
As long as they can get away with it, people being people, they're going to do that, and it's a terrible thing, and I hate it. I said, to me, if I have all this money, like same thing with Amazon.
Yeah.
I'm the richest dude in the world.
But people talk about they ain't getting paid right.
My shit is like in triple digits. I'm the richest guy in the world.
Yeah.
Yet, for us to give them benefits and pay them 15 hours, I gotta lay off people. We gotta.
It's like really.
Oh my goodness, it's gonna be so taxing for this multi-billion-dollar multinational company to do, and that's complete
Amazon is
BS.
killing it.
And I'm not telling you how to spend your money. I'm saying cover your operating costs, including paying your people a living wage. Why? Because that's more money they have to spend on the same stuff you're selling. Yeah. You can really afford to treat your employees right, and it will pay dividends.
The sad thing is, Amazon is at a point now where they're such a staple that when those people were striking in Europe, that wasn't even a blip.
Right.
That didn't touch because Amazon is so big now.
Right.
Like, dude, if you wanted to get a pair of drawers today from Netflix, from Amazon, you could. If you wanted to order, I don't know, a cup of juice.
Perfect. There's times where I actually use Amazon. It became my preferred site for a long time, and then I started running into things that either cost more because that happened. That happened with Walmart. Yep. Walmart is supposed to be the cheapest place you could go.
And then they slid them prices up on you.
Those prices up where they're not. They don't even talk about it anymore. They used to knock 2 cents off to be the cheapest.
They'd be like rollback prices.
Rollback prices. You don't see that commercial no more because they ain't trying. They got low quality. They treat their workers like trash.
Yep.
And their prices are not the cheapest. I can go into Ross and find stuff that's better for cheaper.
And she can dress for less.
Exactly. I can't with you. Giving them tagline realness over here.
Yo, man. Ross, all the employees who watch the show, thank you very much.
I can go to Target. Like, I stopped going to Walmart for the most part. One, because they've been falling back here in LA because people are like catching on to their antics. So they've kind of drawn away from the city. Because
the nearest Walmart is like out there.
In all the suburbs.
Like, it's like way out. It's like probably like 30 miles from here.
Yeah, it's real. Yeah,
like there's one down 60, like way down 60.
I'm going to say 20 miles because I know one is in Compton and I know one's in Torrance.
Oh, like a big Walmart or one of the smaller ones?
Because they have markets.
Yeah, now they have that little grocery store.
And even though they ain't a lot of those, but I'm going to say there's because they got rid of the one of them. So
yeah, Compton's the real Walmart.
Real market. There's one in Compton and no. Yeah, they got rid of that.
Shout out to Compton. all the residents of Compton who also watch the show. Big shout out.
Fox and Socks was like episode sponsored by Ross. It's not though.
Yo,
we need
Ross,
that sponsorship though.
Yo, Ross, the chair that I sit in to edit my footage was from Ross. So Ross, holla
hit us up.
Hit us up.
We need some coins.
Give me some. You know what? I would like a new desk. Ross, holla at me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You can sponsor me with furniture.
He's like, it's doable.
I need a new desk. I need some more space. Holla at me.
But yeah, I do agree with Alan Law. It's this monopoly thing is getting out of control. And the laws that used to stop it, they used to stop this.
Yeah, they used to be like, you can't do that.
You can't do that. The only thing they did stop because it was too crazy was, I forget, 2 cell phone companies were about to come together.
Yeah.
After they
what was AT&T about to buy?
Yeah,
and they stopped it.
They stopped, and I was like, thank God, because this is
AT&T was about to buy somebody, and they stopped it like last year or something like that.
Exactly. I was like, nah,
don't.
Like, I didn't want them to buy Fox, but these companies. And the weird thing is, these companies that are selling themselves to each other, I feel like I want to slip on my 10-foot high.
All right, cool.
Go get into my conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy. And
I hate that. I'm not a conspiracy theory person, but they can sometimes have truth in them. Like some things that we used to like, oh, you're a nut. And it turned out it was totally true.
It's like, like that actually happened.
So they're not all bad, but sometimes that guy who stands in the corner and talks to himself.
Man, come on, man.
I'm like, nah, with a sign and he smells real bad.
Come on, bro.
Nah. But I was thinking that this is all like a plan. Because I was like, these companies generate billions of dollars, and then all of a sudden you're selling them. Which I feel
it wouldn't make any sense.
For pennies on the dollar when you think about what they bring in annually.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And some of it. Now I have talked to people who've worked for different companies. I'm not going to get into different companies, but worked for a lot of the big studios, a lot of the big networks and stuff like that. And some of these top people do kind of run these things into the ground.
Where it's like it's not worth keeping it because
they're not keeping up with trends. Yeah. They're not maintaining the company. They're not doing good business.
You know a company that has a studio that I think has been run into ground and has tons of IP. Paramount Pictures has tons of IP, but they're not really doing nothing. I know they're praying that this Bumblebee is the bomb. But they got tons of IP and they're not like really making hits.
Nothing making any hits.
They're not really making hits.
Sometimes the conspiracy theory comes into like this is not all by accident. Like you get all your money out of it, you squash this much money out of it, you go live your best life and just do this with it, and then I'm going to purposely sell this to this company. We're in cahoots. We're building this mini empire.
We're best friends, and I'll get a kickback from it.
Exactly. I get kickbacks there. I technically get to run it. I become, instead of being like the owner, now I'm just the president. Now I'm the CEO. I'm of this particular company because each branch still has its own CEO. I think that's why it gets around the antitrust laws is because they're kind of like separate, but they're not.
Because you have your parent company, so it's still like sort of not a monopoly, but it is. Because it's not like Disney bought, like General Mills. You know what I'm saying? They bought Fox, which is like it's another media company. So it's, I'm happy that Marvel is all back together. Besides, I think Universal still owns distribution rights for the Hulk, but they found funny ways around that. But it's. You think about it, you're like, man, this might not be good in the long run.
I don't think it's good at all.
We'll see. But
they said Paramount. David Johnson's in the chat. Hi, David.
What up, David?
He said that Paramount has focused on the franchises like Mission Impossible and Transformers, which is true. Transformers was a huge boom
the thing is, outside of Mission Impossible, it's like Transformers. It's like where y'all at?
It worked though.
Yeah, it does.
If you got.
But that's the thing. You need that one movie. It has to carry your whole year of profit.
I was like, if you're a studio, you're supposed to be releasing multiple.
Yeah, you should.
But as a franchise, those are major franchises.
Yeah, they do make a lot of money.
Transformers make a lot of money, so I'm like, maybe they just playing the smart, work.
Maybe they're like, if I just make one movie, if I make like 2 movies a year,
good movies, and people, like they're
Go
making
spend
roughly
money.
$1 billion a pop. Even when it cost me like $2 million to make,
Yeah,
and
like,
I'm making $1 billion.
it's like I spend
I
like
make
around
good
200
money.
million.
Exactly,
but I make $1 billion.
Money. Exactly, I'm making good money, and maybe they're keeping their operation costs sensible. Sometimes they're bleeding their companies out. That's what I mean.
Yeah, bleeding by making too many movies. So yeah,
too many movies, too many. Paying your high people like just too much money.
Yeah.
You're sometimes you're paying your actors too much money, and then your company eventually goes belly up because you're just looks like you can't seem to hold on to any money. You're like, okay, you're still a business. Why are we bleeding money out? And that's where I get suspicious. Like, why would you bleed out a successful entity, like a successful
It's like company? You trying to sell that joint.
Exactly. Because you're going to sell it.
Trying to blow up.
And you're putting as much money as you can in your pocket. And then when it goes belly up, you sell it. Say, well, we're in a financial crisis. We have to sell. And then you sell. And then you go and, again, pack up and live your best life.
While the regular people are kind of like, shuffled around, maybe,
right?
Because we still don't know what's going to happen with the Fox employees.
Exactly.
Like some people will probably stay on, some people will probably, we don't know. We'll see. But guys, we have been up here for a minute.
Right.
We have given y'all mad time. All right. So big shout out to Max Evans, Alan Lewis, Fox Two Socks, still love that name, David Johnson. Little Miss Chocolate, I think, was up in here. I don't know. Everybody who was up in the chat, thank you for rolling through. I think Goldman Vision might have been in there. I'm not sure. But, of course, before we bounce, to my left, my esteemed colleague, Marqueeda LaStar.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's good? I'm feeling real dusty from the Demon Days Festival.
Wow.
There's so much dust out there. But it's a good festival. And I just want to do a shout out to Dram. I've been getting on. Dram performed there. I'm like.
Also watches the show?
Also watch the show. I was really in the internet. The internet is great live. And Erica Badu, you was late, like always, but you gave it to us.
Erica, come on now. Come on now, girl.
I had to say how.
Because you know you was there.
You was there. But I didn't get any service signal because you're out in the sticks. It's hundreds of people, thousands of people. And so I really wanted to shade her in real time because I was like, girl, why are you 30 minutes late? And then, of course, they cut her off because the Gorillas was the headliner.
Yeah, Gorillas.
And it takes time for them to set up their stuff.
Yeah, because Gorillas do like a whole video thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, girl, but she came there. She's like, it's Demon Days, right? It's like Halloween themed. They have like Day of the Dead stuff.
Yeah.
And then she went hard. She's like looking possessed. She like had her eyes out. I was like, oh yeah, girl. See, I wish we had the whole hour though. I'm just saying.
You know what I'm saying?
But I missed like part of my internet performance because of you, but okay. You're still queen, still diva. But anyway, you can find
this time.
Me everywhere, anywhere at LaStar Got Next on the internet.
And you can find me, NERDSoul, NERDSoul. So happy to have you guys. So happy to talk about silly stuff and some serious stuff, and just hanging out about some comics and Disney as well. Also, speaking about Disney, Marvel dropped Daredevil Season 3. Tonight, I will be on a live stream with my boy Arcatron. We're going to be talking about it, having a ball reviewing it. It will be full spoilers, so don't be coming in there like, oh, I only watched 2 episodes. Look, we talk about the whole season, all right, everything. But if you want to talk about it, holla at us. Of course, hit a thumbs up, share it to all your friends, make sure to subscribe. And if you don't like it, hit a thumbs down. But look, all I'm saying is, you might get caught up in a brawl. That's all I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? All right. So, from us to you, much love. Thanks for watching, and peace.